Okay, so we are continuing from where we left off, and we had this weird looking UI. So when we go to the Figma, we realize that the width and height is 64. So in this case, it has to have like a consistent look, right? So we don't need like we have to specify the width so that it looks fitting. Once you have the padding around it, we are good to go. So what do? We go here and then we specify. Give me a moment. Yes. So we go into the. I think it was the plan icon wrapper, right? So go to definition. Okay, no definition found. Plan icon. This is it, and we give it the width of 64 px. Save that, and then let's see. Voila, looks like it should, right? Good. So what next? Um, this is 8 pixel spacing, and this is H5, and this is small. So that's type dot H5 type dot small spacing of 8. Okay, so let's do that real quick. So here there's a space, the margin bottom of 8, which corresponds to 2. Um, Programmers are lazy. Let's just duplicate this, change it to H5, change the text to 10, whatever, 10 USD, then create another one, then per month. Okay, so I'm coming. There is an approach we would likely use. So this is type that's more, and this doesn't need the margin bottom as well as this. Okay, and this one, let's see the color. It has a color, right? So let's look for it in our variables. It's called what? Caption gray. So caption gray. Save that. Let's see. Doesn't look like it should. Caption gray text. Okay. Text txt from the utility classes. It's called color name and a hyphen text. Okay. Yeah, it looks good now. Okay, so once again, everything that's side by side needs a flex, right? In this case, either we do that, but I feel like it will be overkill. In this case, we can just use a span. So one thing about a block element like P or H or div is that if always like takes the full width of the screen, like sorry, it sort of reserves the line for itself. So if you want to have multiple things on that same line, for example, if you want to have this and this, once they are both either P tags or H tags, like it won't work unless I use a div to put it on one line. The other alternative is to make one of them a span tag. A span is an inline element, which means it doesn't fill its own, it doesn't take up its own block. So, for example, if I even change this to display inline, okay, yes, because it's currently on its own line. But let's adjust how we. So we won't use the type small. Let's just paste it here and call a span tag here, paste it inside, add the class, so that we don't need to use the display flex just to get it to be on the same line. So I can remove this now. And let me comment it out for now. So as we can see, we have it here, right? It's now on the same line. The only difference is it doesn't inherit our styles like we want it to. So maybe that's going to be the tricky bit. What do we do? Do we create a new this one just for this? Okay. I think I'm going to create a new type real quick called span, so that one takes takes the uh takes the similitude of a span tag, right? So that's yeah. So 1420. Okay. So 1420. Let me just make this a span. Yeah, and let me call this small inline so that there's small and then there's small inline. Yeah, I think I want this approach. So let me still maintain this and just call it small inline And okay, so what do I? That means I'll just let me change the span to there. So it's still a span, all right. As you can see, it's still a span. Just that I'm doing it in such a way that I get to add the font size and line height without having to create a whole new like style declaration at the top here, right? And I feel like it will also be used somewhere else, so it's better to just do it now and for all. So type small inline. Yeah, I think that should work. Let me. Oh no. Okay. Okay, good. So now, good. Now it looks like it should. Yeah, it looks like it should. Okay, good. So what next? Um, let me check. Okay. All right. So I think we are done with the styling. We just have to put it to the center at this point. So remember we put it in a pricing container. So let's. It already had a test align center, but I wasn't doing anything. Okay, so it looks like they're all aligned. Let me see. So the ruler is an extension you can get from Chrome. You just go to manage extensions, click here, click open Chrome Web Store and type ruler, right? It really helps with front end to see how well aligned something is. Is this one great ruler? Then you install it. So that's what I have here. So anytime I click on it, it gives me access to kind of see how aligned something is. So here, if I pull up my ruler, you can see that I have it aligned. Okay, so they're all aligned. So meaning if I center align it, it's not ideal because it's not aligned. So I want to even center align it. So let me get to that part of the code. This one, pricing text container. Let me hide all of this. So instead of text align, let me just make a margin left auto, margin right auto. We can also just say margin 0 auto, right? But let me see. Will it be worth it? Okay, no, uh, let's use margin. Let's not use margin left. So let's use margin, and then so we already have the padding. So the bottom between this is 24. So margin bottom of 24, right? So margin top of 0, margin left and right of auto, and margin bottom of 24. Save that, and whoa, we have it in the middle. Good. The only thing is this one, the icon is not in the middle, which should be. So I think that's the only thing we need to center align. So let me see. Test align center. Doesn't work. Margin 0 auto. Okay, that works. So I'll add margin 0 auto just for the plan icon. Just for the plan icon. Hold on. Don't save. Just for the plan icon. But if I do margin 0 auto, this is okay. Since this is below it, even if this gives it a margin top and bottom of 0, this will bring it back, so it's fine. And good, there we have it. So we are done with the first part. Looking like it's getting there. It's not done, but it's getting there. So what do we have next? So this part. So here it's simply, let me hide my ruler. Here it's simply a text, right? With a spacing of 12 and then an icon. So icon text, icon text, icon text. As simple as that. And as I have said before, anytime things are aligned side by side, what do we use? A flex. Good. So we just create one flex container that does this thing pretty easy. So let's just go here. So outside the pricing container, then create a new, let's call it bflex, which is a bootstrap kind of thing. And then so here we'll have the icon, right? So let me just copy this image thing and duplicate it and bring it down here. And which icon is it? The check icon. So this is check. Remember we copied it earlier. Good. What's the width? The width is 19 by 19.2. Tricky. But in with the wrapper around it, it becomes 24. But the internal width is 19. So what do we do? So I'm going to go with 18. I don't know. 18 feels more like a well-rounded figure. So let me change this to 18. Not 28. Come on. 18. Okay, good. So we have that. Oh, I was trying to hide the reel and I went to zoom out. Okay. Okay, so we are getting there, right? This text is paragraph regular. That's 16. Okay. Color is this. All right. So let me just get that out of the way. So type dot regular class name. Let me set for that color variable. It's called dark gray, right? So dark gray text. And then let me paste the first item inside, just for example, and see what we get. No. Okay, so it's coming together. All right. So there's a padding. Imagine a spacing of 12 in between these items. You know what? With this, I can simply use Bootstrap classes and don't have to even write anything in the style component. Let me just do that so that we move. Let me give this a margin left of 12. Is that accurate? No, I think that's 2, right? 2 is 8. Let me see. 2 is 8. Okay, let me see something. 2 is 8. 3 is 16. Oh, 1 rem, that's 16. Margin left, 16. Yeah. So we want 12. So how might we approach that? Okay. So I have just this neat trick. If I want to avoid adding classes, styles, custom styles, sometimes you can get annoying. Add custom styles. You want to use utility. So ML2 will give 8 pixels. ML1 will give you 4 pixels. So 4 plus 8 is 12, right? So I just give this one 12, and then I give this one margin right of 1. As simple as that. And then we have our 12 pixel spacing. So the icon will give it 1. We'll give it 4 pixels, and then this one will give it 8 pixels. Let me see. Oh, okay, I hard coded the one here. Let me change it to, yeah. So this gives it 8, and this gives it 4. So we have 12. Good. So that's basically it. So now we just kind of duplicate all of this. So so you realize that now we kind of have everything, right? The only thing left is like multiple, just doing the same thing over and over and over again. So let's just check. The margin bottom is 16. So let me add it to this container. Margin bottom of 16. Let's confirm it's been added. Yeah, it's been added. Margin bottom of 16 has been added. So what do we do next? We'll basically just duplicate all of this, and then when it gets here, we'll change the icon to XX basically, but it's just text. So let's pause on duplicating it manually for now and just do the ones that are different. So when it gets to the last one, there's a spacing of 32, 32, and this is already bringing 16. So we just add an additional 16 on top of the button, so we get 32. So let me do that. So let me just add a button here for now. Give it a class of MT3. What have they written on it? Start free trial. So we will start the button a little bit later. We just want to check something. So hey, where from this? You can see some styles applying here that I'm wondering where it's coming from. Okay, there's a gap of 32. Coming from the style component, the styles we copied earlier, right? Okay, you have to even clean up those styles. Now I just remembered. Yeah, you have to clean up those styles. Coming. So the gap is another way of leaving space in between items. I just don't like using it mostly because it's not supported in a lot of browsers. So let me remove it. It's a CS. It's a property that doesn't have a lot of support. So we'll just use the normal one without support. If you want to know, you go to the site. Can I use? Usually, if you work on UI, some of these things you kind of pick up, like browser support and stuff. So great. Sorry, gap. So I type gap and I realized that it's not really supported in any version of Opera Mini. It's not supported in this. Okay, for IE Friday, we don't care. But it's like the only supported one starts from version 84 and above, which is kind of good because version 84 was released in 2020. But I don't know, I just feel like to be very cautious and just use something that is more supported, like padding. Because if I type padding, for instance, which is another way of giving spacing, you realize that everywhere is green, right? The only thing red is this, which is like a 2012 version of Opera Mobile. So I would rather prefer using padding and stuff over something like a gap, although they do the same thing. So that's why I cleared the gap. Let's continue. So we have the margin bottom of 16 applying, and then additionally we have the margin top of 16 applying. So in total they become 32, like we have in the design. So we're just imagining this is the last element, right? Okay, good. So we have that. Now let's give the button a width of 100%. Let me just do something real quick here. So I'm importing a button component, and okay. Okay, so button. So this button has a background of blue. So you know what? Let me just call this start button, right? We have not created it yet, so let's just create it up here. Sorry, const start button for start dot button. Then just give it the styling. We just copy it from the Figma, and then we paste it here, and then copy the padding as well, and paste it here. It's always be practice to let the padding give it the height. Okay, then color of white. Color of white. Okay, good. And we need a width of 100% so that it fills the whole container. So width of 100%. Okay, good. Wow, I love this. I really love this. Okay, so it looks like we are done with the card, basically. The only thing is we just have to duplicate this like a number of times and then it fills the card, right? Which I want us to programmatically do. I don't want us to hard like copy and paste code. Like there's no need for repetition. You have to always be dry. It's a good practice. Don't repeat yourself if you don't have to. Sometimes it's necessary to repeat yourself to save time, but some cases it's unnecessary. So we realize that this whole field is reused, right? Which is all of this. All of this is reused. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's kind of reused on almost all pages. So instead of manually hard coding it, I want us to put all this plant features in a variable, right? And then we can programmatically render it and have it render like quickly. So let's create a variable. So what I like to do is just leave this. So what I like to do is, oh, I didn't add comments. I usually like doing these things. I call this styles. Then inside here Let me call it variables and call it constant price features. I don't know if I've zoomed it well enough. Oh, hold on. Let me call it standard, right? This is standard professional and enterprise. Let me call this standard features. Standard features. Standard features. And then what I'm going to do next is to create an array. Is to create an array of the features or the text features. My PC has frozen. Hold on. Let me just pause for a bit for it to come back. I think it's back, right? Yeah. So an array. And what we put in that array? So we'll create an array of objects, right? The first thing will be called maybe name. Maybe name of the distance. The feature here it says multiple approval flows, and we can just duplicate this. How many times do we even have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. Then we just change the options to whatever they were. So I'm going to let me just play. Unfortunately, with Google Meet recording, you can't pause a recording. I would have paused and then just played it when I'm done copying, but API access. So, right, we have this. So we've saved this, right? So this is now an array variable, right? So we go down here. So the part that repeats itself, we just, on top of it, we just create a JavaScript loop that loops through the variable at the top. So we use a map in JavaScript for looping through an item and creating a new array. So we loop through this. So let's say we call each feature. So each feature should let me even do feature comma index so that I extract the index, which is the count. So for each array item here, take the first, like take each one and render this. So what do you want to render? So we want to render maybe a p tag that says hi, just to test that it's working, right? Let's see. So let's save that. And what do we get? They said missing key prop for elements in iterator. That's a Next.js error. Like it's not an error per se, but it's a way of keeping track of items that change in a loop. So it helps to add a key to the containing element. So and it should be unique. So the key can be anything unique. So it can be the index itself, which is like the index of the array 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or you can pass in the option you are rendering if they are different. Or you can even use a library called UUID, but it's not necessary in this case. So just the index should be fine. I save that. And you see we have this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have this duplicated 6 times, which corresponds to the array we created at the top here. So now we are calling each of them names. So instead of hi, let's copy all of this, which repeats itself. Hey, let's cut it actually. Paste it here. Why is it giving me an error? Okay, the key thing again. So key index, and the error goes away. So for now, let's just save it and see. You realize that you duplicate this 6 times. Good. So we didn't have to manually do all this, right? That is the efficiency of programming. And then let's see. Okay. Is it just me? Okay. I think I may have to reach out to the designer because it feels to me like this should be center aligned. That's all. I don't know. It just feels to me like. But let's continue. Okay, so now instead of using some random something, let's use feature that's name. And let's see. And voila, we have it here. The only difference is these icons are different, but that's fine. We'll fix that in a bit. And also, let me add something. something I think every developer should adopt. When you are when you are getting items from an array, never ever ever ever, especially when you are working on a combined project, never ever just do maybe feature dot something or extracting from an API dot something. Always add this. It's called optional chaining. What this does is if this doesn't exist for any reason, your app would not break. For example, if let's say if I don't add this, right, and I'm trying to find maybe features.name, which doesn't exist, and I load it, you realize that the app will crash. Like, I can't tell you the number of times I've seen apps going to production that things have crashed totally, costing lots of money, like lots of money, because things crash. You have to go through a long deployment process, and by the time you do that, customers have gotten frustrated, left the platform. So a simple way to prevent this kind of error is to just bring a question mark here. It's called optional chaining. You can read about it. It's very, very useful. It saves a lot of money. Optional chain. You can read more about it. So you see, even though this is not defined, I'm going to use optional chaining and save it, and let's see what we get. So okay, hold on. For it not being defined, it's definitely going to show an error. Let me try and distract something that doesn't exist. That one is better. Okay, so you see, the feature exists, all right, but this particular reference doesn't exist, so it doesn't flag an error. But if I remove it from there, watch, we get an error. Let me refresh. Hold on, let me check the compiler. Maybe it's not compiling. Feature.d. It's very, very possible Next.js or NX is handling some error somewhere, but usually in a typical code base, this would break the app, especially if it's in production. So that's done. So we are basically done with the first card. Actually, we are done with the first card. Wasn't this a piece of cake? Now the next thing we'll do is we would just fix this icon to be different. So one approach I would like to use is hold on. So let's call this maybe a disabled feature, right? So for those two cards, let's add an additional property to the object. So name and then disabled to true or something. Disabled to true, just to indicate that maybe that particular feature is disabled. So let's save that, and nothing changes. So we'll come here where we are importing the icon, right? Instead of adding a source to be like this fixed, we can add a conditional operator like a ternary and say if it contains feature dot disabled, or let me use the normal syntax we are used to, then I'll add the optional change. So if it contains feature dot disabled, then if this feature dot disabled is part of it, then if you use this icon, the icon called error.svg, which we have here. Let me just open that up real quick. This icon, right? And then if not, that's the ternary operator. If not, then you should use this one. So as simple as that, we save it, and okay, as simple as that, and we are done. You get it? Isn't this cool? So that's basically all we need for the first card, and we just duplicate it to create the other cards. We can even do the same thing for the cards itself to be programmatic, like to be rendered in a programmatical way. Coming. So this is start pricing card, right? Good. So yes. So I think we will do that. So here we have what standard this. Okay, so let's add some more feature. What do we do? Okay, so let's do the same approach we did for the card itself. So let's create a variable that has all this. Okay, let's go. So standard features, right? So we have What do you do? So let me call this standard card or pricing cards. Yes, pricing cards, and then create an array as well. Um, so this is what let's call this title. Let's call this title. Let's call this description. Okay, and let's call this icon, right? Because so we just look for the only things that change, which is this, and this. The rest remain the same. So title, description, icon. So we have so for the standard. So for the standard, we have what? So this is an array containing standard, containing an object, right? So title, standard, description. Let's just do something random for now. Description. Let's see. Okay, I think yeah. So no, this is not description. This is monthly price. So this is price. This is price. I just thought about something. So if I choose monthly, the price is different from if I choose yearly. So we need to have yearly price, monthly price, right? So with that said, yeah. So let me call this price. And then in the price we have yearly 13, monthly 12. Was that it? Yeah. Hey, 10, sorry. 10 and 13. Oh, okay. So yearly is 10, then monthly is 13. 13 USD. So yearly is 10, monthly is 13. You can even add an additional this one for like currency in case you use different currencies, but you let me just add it in, but we won't use it because for now we're going to assume everything is in USD. So it gave me an error. Why? They said unexpected. Okay, so let's see. I missed the comma somewhere. Where did I miss the comma? An array of objects. Oh, okay. An array doesn't usually have such a syntax. Okay. I see. Okay. So I think an array doesn't have such a syntax. Either it is containing an object, which is this. This is not like this shouldn't be featured in an array unless it's an object. So if it was an object like this, then I can say standard equals something. Const standard. How do I do this thing? Okay, you let me just move on. So this is the proper syntax. So let me just stick to that. And then icon. So we paste the link to the rocket icon we used for the. I think I was zooming in too much. Yeah. Okay, so let me copy this icon. Okay, you are getting there. So this is the first card, right? It has a title, price, icon. That's basically all we need. And then let's say the features is, and let me just call this variable here. I don't know whether I was not defined. They said it was used before it was defined. I think because of hoisting, it should work. Even though, so it's like I'm calling a variable I've defined below it, but because of hoisting is a principle in JavaScript, it should work. But they said was cannot access. Okay, maybe in JavaScript it works, but in with Next.js it's not working. So cannot access before initialization. So the only way to fix it is to just move this below, right? Let's just move this below. It's fine. It's fine. So just the changing of the arrangement will just fix this error. So now we are defining this variable called standard features before we call it. So let's save that and voila. So now we have this first card, right? Let me just duplicate it and like so I'm creating 3. So I've created an array with 3 cards, and so this is the first card items. the second card items, the third card items, for example. And let me call this professional, then enterprise. Okay. So okay. Oh, what's going on? Hold on. My PC has frozen again. Oh, I should have turned this PC off earlier. I don't know. So that it needs time to rest. I think it's feeling sleepy. Okay, so this is like the pricing card that contains everything we are using for the pricing card. So this is what is going to be duplicated 3 times for each card variable. So let me copy all of this, right? So let me leave this below for now and just duplicate it for now and see what we get. So it's duplicated. So this is 2, right? So I'm just going to programmatically change the first one to 3. So the way I'll do that is to undo what I just did, do the same thing, create a so this is how to type like inline JavaScript in a React or Next.js. You just open your curly braces and then begin. So we called it pricing cards, right? So if pricing cards, it's even giving me some. Wow, I like this code. How do I even call it? It's automatically adding types for me. I love it. I love it. I love it. So if pricing card dot length, which is a good error checking approach, is greater than 0, meaning if pricing card is existent and you have more than one pricing card, you have more than 0, meaning at least there's a pricing card. Let me even add this one to even be sure the variable exists, else so that it doesn't flag any side breakages. So if the pricing card exists and you have at least one card, then what do we do? Take the pricing cards and map through it. So I can just do pricing card dot map. So for each pricing card, let me do the same thing. So index. So for each pricing card, maybe render. Let me do something to just test, which I love to do. Render pricing card. Let's not forget the key error again. Pass the index here, and let's see. So we have 1, 2, 3. That means it will render 3 pricing cards based on the variables we entered. One. So this is an array containing 1, 2, 3 items. That's why we have 3 here. So come back to this. So instead of this, let's just replace it with the start pricing card component we worked on earlier. Let's not forget the key to be indexed and see what we get. Wow. So it has automatically generated 1, 2, 3 pricing cards. So we cannot delete the old one since we've programmatically duplicated it now. I hope I'm not moving too fast for this one, but I think I've done a lot of explaining over the session, and I need to move fast. So for any decent JavaScript experience, I think you should be able to follow. So yeah, so we have these 3 pricing cards. Once again, let's not forget, anytime things are arranged side by side, what do we need? A flex. So display flex, then the spacing between them is 32. 32. Okay, so let's go to the containing wrapper for these cards. So these cards are contained. It looks like you don't have a container. Okay, so it's going to make it difficult to add a flex because every flex item should have a container that has the flex property on it. So since it doesn't have a container, because it looks like there's no container, we need to give them a container so that we can add a flex. So let's wrap all of this in a how do I even call it? Let's see, pricing cards and this. Thinking about something. Okay, so let's wrap them in. Pricing card container, pricing cards container, and paste all of this inside it. Okay, then let's give this a display of flex using Bootstrap. Simple enough. Good. So you have it aligned side by side, right? And it's not left with the spacing. So we can use a gap to space it. A gap is like a very cheap way of spacing stuff, just that the browser support isn't really good, but it still works. So I'll use the gap just to show you gap in action, but I'll later refactor it a little bit. So just adding gap of 32 would space it out like we want, but I won't use gap. It's too easy and it's not supported by a lot of browsers. But why is the margin top not working from here? Because I remember we added the margin top to this thing. 64 style toggle. I remember I added margin top. Or it has been overridden. Ah, okay, go overridden by this thing. Okay, so let's remove it. Okay, so yeah, exactly. So yeah, we are back to what we should have. Um, okay, so looking good. So we just changed this to professional. Then the prices. Let me make it real quick. Professional. Oh, this is changed. Ah, okay. So we are not programmatically updating the stuff yet. So let's do that. So yearly is 12 for professional and 18 for enterprise. So yearly is 12 for professional, 18 for enterprise, and then monthly is 16 for professional, 24 for enterprise. Monthly is 16 for professional, 24 for enterprise. And we won't see anything yet because we are just programmatically creating the cards but not updating the information. That's fine. Now to update the information, we first created a variable for the standard features. We need to do same for the professional and then the what's the other one? The enterprise features. So let me do that. Okay. So instead of standard, let's call this professional now. Hey, sorry. For this one, this is for the professional instead. Then let's call this enterprise. Enterprise features. Okay, good. So we've updated that. Now let me update the content with all of these. So let me see if I can quickly do that. Okay, good. And enterprise. All right. It's good to know shortcuts, right? Okay, so we've updated that. Now let's just not make it hard coded. So what are the things we are getting from the pricing card? We are getting the title, we are getting the description. Is it description or the price? We are getting the icon. What else are we getting? We are getting the features. So title, price, icon, features. We're also getting the features. So title, price, icon, features, and anything else. Let's call it price. Let's call it card. So we are getting the title, price, icon, features. So here, instead of adding the rockets, we would change it to add the icon, right? As we are getting from here. So here, this one, the icon is called enterprise. Let me confirm that real quick. Yep, it is. Here, the icon is called charts. And yeah. Oh, it's even doing it. So as I'm updating, the things are updating in real time. That's cool. So here we are done with the icon. So let's change this to title. Let's change this to price. So now you see why we don't need to add a dollar because it's already here. What else do we need to change? I think we are basically, yeah, I think that is it. So let's see. I think we have a mistake somewhere. So the price, right? So I think the price, yes. So the price changes based on what has been toggled. So let's hold on with the price for now and work on that in a way. Because we have to programmatic. We would have to program the tab as well. So so I think we are done, except the programmatic, like programming the tabs. Hey, okay, hold on. Why is this showing? Oh, okay. So we didn't update this one. So okay. So I get it now. So instead of oh, okay. So you see here it is still referencing this variable instead of the new one we've created here, like features. That is an all encompassing. So let's change this to features right now. Good. Now we have it as it should be, right? Yep, we do. Okay, good. I love it. And the icon and the text are aligned at the top. They are not center aligned, so we don't have to have this. This is center aligned, like it's aligned at the top of the text. So this shouldn't be aligned center. This should be aligned like start or something. So I think it's been caused by this align item center class. Let me remove it and see what. Yes, yeah. So we just easily go and remove that class. Hold on, let me just confirm. Yeah, there's some little spacing because the icon has a wrapper around it. There's some spacing here, so it makes it not look aligned. But anyways, you can't be too perfect. So this shouldn't be aligned item center, and we get it to be aligned. That's in the design. Good. So we are basically done with the card. This except with this card, this variant of the card. So this card is has a different background color, but I think the same border radius. Yes, if it's not the same, it will even be strange. The same border radius of 6 years. So is it the color that will change, right? The color and then the background and then the color. So let's call this what do you even call this? But I'm even curious, why is this color different from this color? Like what's the goal? I think I need to ask the designer because I just realized. So Bill Yearly has this color, start free trial. But why does it have a different color from this one? Let me see if I can think about why. This is Bill Monthly, this is start free trial. It doesn't make sense to me now. But let me just do it. So this button, um, start button. So let me add a variant of Let me even call it disabled because that color is usually used for disabled stuff. I don't know why they use it for that kind of button. Uh, disabled, right? Okay, so it only shows on the professional and enterprise card in both designs. Okay, so if so, let's add a conditional class name that says if it has a disable, if the, did I say if the title is either professional or enterprise, it should apply that class. So if the title is either professional, so let me convert both to lowercase, right? So that it doesn't care what how I type it. So it will convert this text, which is capitalized, to lowercase, so that I can do like a very appropriate conversion. So if title the lowercase is equal to this, then print this class disabled. Otherwise, nothing. Let me save that. And you realize that the professional one will change. Let me see. Styled dot. Okay, I just have to update the styled to be like this instead, so that it's embedded within the styled button class, which would update in our good. And then I didn't add a color. Let me add that right now. The color is black. Let me see. Yeah, black. So color black. Once again, my CX says black. Oh. Okay, looks good, right? Good. Same for the enterprise. So if it's equal to professional or enterprise, so let me put this in a distance. How do I even call it? Oh, it's not called enterprise. Enterprise. It should work. Oh, hold on. I think I may know why it's not working. Title is equal to professional or enterprise. Disabled. So let me see if there are any console errors. Okay, I know why. I certainly know why. So what this is doing is that if it's looping through, it first loops through this one. The title is standard, so it fails. So it's none. It loops through this one. The title is professional. Yes, it adds the class and it stops. So to fix this, you have to have like two different conditions like this. I'll do the long method and I'll do the short method. So you have to add two different conditions. So if title is this, do this, or and add another one again. If title is enterprise, and you see that this will work, just give it some time. Hold on. Or if title is closed enterprise, disabled or nothing. Right? That's about right. So if title is professional, add disabled class. Otherwise, okay. Otherwise, if title is enterprise, okay. Otherwise, if title is enterprise, then do the do the same thing. If title is enterprise, do the same thing. Otherwise, empty. So like this, it will work. If title is professional, add disabled class. If title is enterprise, add disabled class. Else do nothing. And you see that it has worked, right? Which is pretty simple, but I really hate repetition in code. So let's think of a way to modularize this. So another way to use includes. So we create an array that has this inside it: professional, and then enterprise. And then we just do how do I even call it? This array dot, if the array includes title dot lowercase, then do this. Very simple. So we create it in an array, and we say that if the title includes any of these array items, add a disabled class. Otherwise, don't do anything. Let's reload it and see. It's already reloaded, but just to be sure. So we see it has worked. So we're actually done with the pricing page for the UI. So we just need to move this into the center, space it out, and then programmatically change the prices based on what is selected. So we'll do that next. So moving it to the center will just be a justify content center. Let me do it in the browser first. Right, see it has worked. So let me come back to the code, go to the wrapping element that wraps the flex items, justify content, or the center. That's a bootstrap class for doing justify content center. And then we have to space it, right? So this spacing bit is going to be tricky because one approach is to use, like, I'll give it a margin left of 32, give it a margin left of 32, and this one I won't do anything with it. But doing it in a way that makes it modularized might be tricky because it's using the same card. So, but we can do it. So, for example, if I say margin left of, this is 24, right? So 5 is 32. We realize that, so this is, what am I looking for? Oh, okay, no, not this. It should be added to, not the container, the cards itself. So the card starts rendering from here. It starts rendering from here. The card starts rendering from here. So it should be added to this one instead. So you see it has spaced it out. The only thing is it will give this a margin left as well. So, but it's still a workable approach. The only thing I don't like about this approach, and we'll change it, is that if, let's say, you go to mobile and you change it to, flex direction column. I want to change this on. So let's say if you go to mobile. Oh, okay, it's not bad. I was thinking it would make it look weird on mobile, but it's not. Okay, it's fine. So if you can use that approach, but for some reason I don't like it. Hold on. Okay, I want to see something. Oh, okay. So this will also have an align items of center, so that it's centered. Okay. This is the way I wanted to show. Let me bring this back. Oh, but it looks fine. It's not bad. Just that this place looks more spacious than this space, which we don't want. So let's just use an approach that I think is scalable. So instead of adding a margin left to all of them, let's go into the pricing card itself. And this one, it will need like custom styles. So for each price, let's see. So the pricing cards are in the container, right? Let me just confirm that. Yeah, it's called pricing cards container. Okay, so pricing cards container. Okay, so let's add some styles to that class, the pricing card container class. So right now it's not space. So let's say in this container, it should only apply a margin left of 32 to the item that is not the first one. So it's like you should add it to just this and this, right? And then it should not add any margin left to this one. The way we do that is using a property in CSS called the not. So we say not last child. That means, sorry, not first child. Wait, not last child means not the last child, but every other item except the last child. So not first child, yes, that's the one. So it means that anything that is within this container that is not the first child of the pricing card container, meaning anything that is not the first, this is the first child of this container because it has one, two, three different cards. And this is the first child, this is the second child, this is the third child. So anything that is not the first child, meaning all of these, should have a margin left of 32, right? It's a pretty neat CSS trick, don't you think so? And we have it here. So this card will not have a margin left. All right, and then let's also remember that on mobile, it will be stacked straight from top to bottom. I don't even need to check to know because usually when you're doing cards, by all means on mobile, it shows the full width. It's not side by side. So that means on mobile, we can't have this margin left as well because on mobile, this card can't have a margin left of 32. So we have to make sure we remove it on mobile. So either we specify a media breakpoint where on mobile it changes the margin left to 0, or an approach I like which would make us lower the number of styles we write is we only apply this margin left when we are on tablet and above, which is what we specified here. So at media 768 and above, then add a margin left. Otherwise, don't even think of adding any margin. So that is what we do. And also, let's just add something real quick here. So in this same pricing cards container, I'm going to remove this justify. Okay, no, this is fine. Justify context is fine. Okay, it's fine. So I'm going to make it so by default the flex direction should be column, which means top to bottom, like how we have here, top to bottom. That's the flex direction of column. And then the one that appears by default is flex direction of row, right? That's a flex property. So by default, it should be flex direction column. And then tablet and above, it should be flex direction row. So pretty okay. So let's just double check on mobile. So you see on mobile we have it aligned top to bottom, right? But on desktop it changes. Pretty neat, huh? So that is the flex and flex column and stuff. So you see as I zoom out, good. I like this error. We'll fix it now. I am glad I made this mistake because this is what happens when you add a height to a card or to most things. Remember, I was saying we don't add heights, but when I was copying the pricing card styles, I just copied everything, including the height. So you see now, the things are looking really terrible, and that's one reason why you see we have a height here. When I move the height, you see everything looks nice. That's why I hit adding heights. Good. So let's just go to mobile. Okay, so we have it here on mobile. So on mobile too we need to space the pricing cards out, right? So on mobile, let's check this the spacing. It's also 32, just like desktop. So it's also 32, just like desktop. And what else do we have on mobile? On mobile too, it's also aligned to the center. Also, it doesn't look nice. So let's add that in here. So the same way we have. Okay, so let's just see every this means everything that is a child of this container, everything that is a child of this container should have a margin bottom of 32. This will affect the first card as well, but it's fine. I mean, in this case, the first card having a margin bottom of 32 is a good thing, right? Maybe this one doesn't need that margin bottom. So just to also demonstrate the other version of the not, let me also make it so I can actually do this. Let me even save it. I can actually do this, which will give it a spacing, right? But then the thing I don't like is it will also gives this one a margin bottom, which is not needed because we already have a spacing of 64 around all of this, right? So it's not needed to add an extra spacing. So we have to remove it by using the not. So let me refactor this and make it not last child, meaning anything that is not. So we have not first child, we have not last child. Anything that is not the last child, which is the first two, it should have a margin a margin bottom of 32, and then we reload and we realize the margin bottom is gone, but it's here. It's gone from the last one, but it's here and it's here. Now we need to position this into the center. So with flex direction column, we use align item center, and we have it here. Voila. So you see the card has come out really neat. I think we are about, let's confirm, the spacing between this is 32. The spacing between this, oh, it's too big. 64, no. So I think on mobile, the spacing between this and this is 32, and on desktop, the spacing between this and this is 64. So you have to update that. So let me just use 64 to search for where I added that style. Okay, I think it's here. So styled bottom 64, no. So it should be 32 by default, and then on devices 76 and above, then it should be 64. Let's check. Okay, good. So it's working now. So 32 by default, and then when I update my screen size, it goes to 64, right? Exactly like we want it. Okay, good. So yeah, we are getting there, right? We are getting there. So I think the only thing left is making the toggle dynamic and updating the price here based on the toggle I choose. And then the height too. Like I said, it's not good to specify a height, and the code has just told me right. So I specified the height of 5 to, what was the height I specified? 516. Where did I get the 516 from? I got it from here, you see. Oh goodness. So you see, I copied the smallest card to give it the height, which was bad. I probably should have copied the highest card rather, which is 524 or 525. So to prevent this error from happening, either I use a min height instead of a height, like I was saying, or I just don't have the height at all and let the padding take care of that. So you see, this is giving me errors, right? It's making the button out or overflow its content because it can't fit the height. So I can just solve it by doing a min height of this, and you see it is solved by adding a min height. Like I said, worst case scenario, use a min height, or I can now use the bigger height. That one will also work. Hold on. And even that one is still not working. Okay, you see, so in the design, it looks like it fits this kind of height, but in the code, as the things rendered based on the font sizes and all, the heights don't really translate. And I think we can fix that. Maybe there are some spacing inconsistencies between the individual items, or maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not. Yeah, maybe not. So in this case, it's a very good reason why it's very good not to use fixed heights and just use the min height or something, and you are free. So let me change this to min height of and let me use the 516. It's fine. 516. Okay, so or I can just remove this height completely, and that will even save us a lot of potential stress. But let me just add the min height just to, so we have this here. And one issue I just saw with the min height is, you see, the because of the pricing cards not being the same, it's not aligning, right? It's not aligning, at least from the top. It's not aligning from the top because yeah, it looks like the top aligns, but then maybe the bottom doesn't really align, which is usually cards should align pepe. So a way to fix this is to use align item stretch in Flex. So align item stretch, it would automatically stretch the cards to fit the full height of the container. So give me a moment. Align item stretch. It's working, but why is the professional card only trying to mess up? Because it has the margin bottom, as you can see here, which shouldn't be so. Oh, okay, I know why. It's because of the margin bottom we added to the not last child. So we have to make sure we remove that for desktop. So you see here, we added the margin bottom of 32, but we've not removed it. So it's going to apply on both mobile and desktop. So we have to add it to the desktop as well, that once you get to desktop, margin bottom should be 0. And things are looking pretty. Woo! I have to clap because I love this. So yes, so this is what we have. So let's go to the pricing card container and add the align item stretch, sorry. Align item stretch, which is a bootstrap class, which just means the same thing. It just means align item stretch this. But I don't think I'll use bootstrap. So I'll use start formula so that I can get the vendor prefixes like I mentioned, right? Yes, I think I'll use that approach. So let me remove all of this. So you know what? Let me copy all these classes and rather paste them in the start component so that I can get vendor prefixes to make it more browser compatible. So let me paste it here. So dflex means display flex. Okay. And this means, oh, come on. This means justify content center. This means align item stretch. And then I can, yeah, so I can save this and then, oh, why is it align item center? Okay, so yeah, we are done. Wow, I love this. I really love this. Let me check mobile. Oh, okay. So mobile, because of the align items. Okay, so on mobile, because of the align item stretch, we are not able to make it align in the center. So, but this align item stretch is needed only on tablet and desktop, but not on mobile. So let me remove that from here and keep this one because we need this for mobile. We need the things to align in the center on mobile. Let me refresh this. On mobile, we need it to align in the center like this, right? Because it's flex column. But on desktop, we don't need that. We only need on desktop is justify content because we change the flex direction to row. So on desktop, we don't need align item center, but we need align item stretch. So on desktop, once we change this to row, we change this to align item stretch. Hope it makes sense. And we are done. We're actually done with the pricing page as far as UI is concerned. The next step is to just update the pricing programmatically. And I think that part can be left as an assignment for the frontend team members to do. Or I better do it. Let's see. We need to get this going. So let me just get this done. In addition, so the next thing is to let's see. So let's think back for a bit. So as far as UI is concerned, we are done. Actually, we just need to programmatically let's confirm the UI looks as it should. I scroll down. Wow, when it gets to mobile, it changes to this. Oh, I love this. I love this. I love this. Okay, so Um. Okay, so yearly is 40. The price is this. So the only thing left is to make sure I can toggle between these two, and then when I toggle, the price changes. So let's think. Let's think. Hold on. Okay, so we are going to use states basically, and this thing should be clickable. So the cursor type should change to cursor pointer, not the default. So let's look for the style toggle. Yeah, this style toggle, and then just give it good. So the first thing should even be a cursor pointer, meaning if I hover over it, it should change to like something clickable. Yes, good. Now, the only way to make this is to give it a class of active, right? So okay, so let's create a state variable. So this is variables. States. Call this use states, which will import React. Good. Okay. Which will import use state from React. And because I have the React snippet thing that I was okay, so this is what it's called EX7. Okay, it's actually the thing I showed at the beginning. Because I have this snippet thing, once I start typing use state, it just auto complete it for me. I can just click on it. So let's call this toggle, right? Set toggle. And let's call this so by default it should use the yearly toggle. So by default it should toggle to yearly. Yes, by default it should toggle to yearly. So by default, you talk to you, then I can change it to monthly. Okay, good. So by default, you should toggle to yearly, and then I can change it to monthly. So by default, yearly. So the place where we change the toggle to active, which is here. Let's 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 make it this way. So let's look for the variable. If toggle equals yearly, right? Give it the active class. Otherwise, don't. It's as simple as that. If toggle is yearly, give it the active price. Otherwise, don't give it anything. And that is basically all. So I can just duplicate the same thing for the monthly as well. It ends here. So if toggle is monthly, make this active. It's as simple as that. So let me change this to monthly just to confirm. It looks off. Okay, this is ugly. Very, very ugly. So it's good we are catching this error. So one thing we probably should work on is, I think the monthly doesn't have the discount card, so it doesn't need to use the white space with no wrap thing. I think that's what is causing this to look like the way it's looking, and causing the. Let me see. Yeah, I think that's what's causing the thing not to be, because I added the no wrap to just the one with the active class. I think I should have added it to the annual toggle instead, not just not even the active class because that's the longest. So let me fix that. And for some reason the color is not changing to white. Maybe I didn't add that coloring. So let me look for the style toggle and try and make that update. So active is white. It should. Oh, okay. I know why. So I added a. Okay, so you see, I added an important, like I made the color for the monthly a bootstrap. Sorry, a utility classes class. So it makes it add the importance on it. That is why. Let's see if I'm correct on that. Yes. Hold on. Bill monthly. So there's great text. So it's making it by default, like it's adding an important class by default. So even if I override it with so you see it's adding an important. Even if I override it with white to something, it won't apply. So instead of using this, let me just do everything within the CSS so that there are no important classes on anything. So the option by default should have gray text, right? So it means the color is var gray. And now it's changed to white. Okay, good. Now we need to also make sure the thing doesn't become big like this. Why? So I think the yearly class should always have those styles. Bill monthly, bill yearly. So let me call this style toggle option yearly. And let me call this style toggle option monthly. Still the BEM. So this is a variation of a particular component. So it's an option, all right, but this is a monthly variation. So I'm adding an additional class to indicate that. So I come here, style toggle. Let me duplicate these styles for the what am I even looking to do? Yearly. Okay. Okay, let me remove this. I'm coming. Something is not right somewhere. Oh, yearly. Okay, that's why. Okay, good, good, good. Yeah. So, it doesn't need some of the styles though. Doesn't need this. Okay. Yeah, this is better, right? Yeah, this is better. So I think the styles I added for the active class is not really for the active class. It's for the yearly toggle alone. It's for the yearly toggle alone. Okay, good. So yeah. I think just want to be sure. And also, it looks like only the active class has the font weight of 600. So this shouldn't be here. This shouldn't be here as well. Okay, this should be here. Let me experiment something. I'm coming. No, so the monthly shouldn't. So the active shouldn't have the weight of 100. It's only for the yearly. Okay. Yeah. So that's that. I think he looks okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Let's just confirm. Yeah, looking good. I mean, for some reason, it looks like this font weight is not as it should be. It's 500 here, 500 here. What do I have here? Font weights. But yeah, it's 500. I don't know why it's not looking as it should be, but it should. It should look as it should be. But anyways, I think it's fine. You can move forward. Yep. So if the active class changes to monthly, this is it as the design here. And if it changes to yearly, let me change the state manually just to confirm nothing will be broken yearly. Ooh, you see, nothing is broken. It looks good. It looks good. It looks good. It looks good. I love this. Okay, so I think we are done with the toggle updating based on what you select. Now let's just add the toggle. So like the switching. So if I click on monthly, it should switch this to this, right? It should switch this to this, switch this to this, switch this to this. So that means it will add the active class to it, which we've already added here. That if the toggle is yearly, it should give it a class of active. So another thing we do is, so this is the style toggle for both of them. This is for the monthly. This is for the monthly, and this is for the yearly. Okay, so this monthly, this yearly. So let's do it such that if I click on this, if I click on the monthly toggle, that is an on click. If I click on the monthly toggle, it should set. So if I click on the monthly toggle, right, it should set the toggle variable to monthly, monthly, as simple as that. And if I click on the yearly part, it should change the toggle to yearly. That's all. So let's confirm. You see, it's changing. Wow, isn't that neat? It is, right? But one thing that usually differentiates the average programmer, the average front-end developer from the rest is the little things like transitioning. So you see that it moves very sharp. So we need to add a transition to it, right? So that it moves in a very smooth way. So we need to transition the background color so that it moves very smoothly. So we do that by going into where the background color was added, which is here. It was added here in the active class, right? And we look for the parent class that had the active class. And we say transition, then we give it maybe 0.25. Maybe ease, right? Easing out should be fine. Then let's see. It's still moving to, okay, just let me change it to 5 seconds. Oh, okay, sorry. I have to specify what I want to transition. That's why. So background, I want to transition the background color. Let me even make this background color and this background color as well. Yeah, so still moving too fast for me. Let me see if it's, oh, okay, I didn't add the seconds. Look at me. Oh, I didn't add a second, so that's why I'm coming. Let me confirm. Yep. I didn't add a second. That's why. So is 0.25 all right, but I should add seconds. So meaning to transition in a very smooth way. Hold on. Oh, it's too. Oh, it feels weird. It feels off for me. I don't like the way it's transitioning. I'm coming. Let me change this to O and see something. I feel like it's too sharp. Oh. Let me change this to 0.5. No, let me not make easy now. I think that's a very. Just do a quick search. CSS transitions for smooth animations. Charlie, programmers, we don't need anything. No, there's nothing wrong in searching. Hope you should know that by now. Make it to 0.3 seconds. Or I should make it 3 seconds rather. Hold on. I know I'm not enjoying the way it's transitioning. I'm not enjoying it at all. Or I can say 250 milliseconds, which is also the same as 0.25 seconds. Okay, I think I don't know. I'm just not enjoying the way it's transitioning. So these are some examples of some transitions. Okay, linear. Let me try linear and see. 0.5 seconds linear. So let me comment this out for now. Let me just say 0.5 seconds linear. Okay, not bad. But I think it's too. I don't really know. I don't know. I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. I think it's too slow. That's why I'm not feeling it. Okay. Let's just stick to this. Let's just stick to this. Let's see if I can find any other one. Yeah, I think it's fine. But before then, let me try this. I'm itching to try this and see if it will look better this way. So let me comment this out and see. Okay, I think it is better. I like this better. I think the linear is a more appropriate thing. Okay, okay. Let me stick to the linear, and then let me just take this out and just leave this as a comment for now. Okay, so okay, so we have this toggle done. So now all we need to do is make sure whenever we select the monthly, the prices are updated to these ones. Then whenever we select the yearly, the prices are updated to these ones. So we just have to check for what is the current state of the toggle state variable, right? So by default, it's set to yearly, it seems. By default, it's set to yearly. So that's fine. So where do we do that? Let's do it. Where do we do it? Where do we do it? Oh God, it's difficult when you have so many things, so many approaches in mind. So we can add it to the pricing cards variable. That is one. Where the yearly depends on the value of state, right? Or we can add it to no. I think we'll add it here. We'll add it to the price here. Yes. We'll add it to the price here. So so it's what price dot yearly or price dot monthly. So okay, I think I should have added the ternary for optional change to the one. So it's price dot yearly or price dot monthly, right? So price dot yearly. let me just use the hard coded price.yearly for now. So you see, the yearly prices are showing 10, 12, 18. Let me change it to price.monthly. And the monthly prices are now showing 13, 16, 24, 13, 16, 24, right? Good. So let's see if Togo is equal to monthly, use price.monthly, as simple as that. If Togo is equal to monthly, use price.monthly. Otherwise, use price.yearly. And that is all. So we save that, and then we have 13, 16, so 24. Let's confirm that. 13, 16, 24. And then let's change this to yearly. It has changed 10, 12, 18. Oh God, programming is so amazing. It's like magic. Like I'm a magician. Okay, so I think the spacing between this card and this is not the same as the one we have here. Because if it feels like it's too big. I don't know. So this is 24, yes, but it feels like something. I caught it. So I think there's a margin. Is inheriting a margin from somewhere, from here, from Bootstrap. Okay, so it looks like Bootstrap gives a default margin bottom on that. So we need to remove it. Yeah. So where is it? Per month. So on this one. So let's just add MB0. Okay, yes, I think it looks neat now. And that is all. We are done. We are done with the pricing page. It's as simple as this. So we can change the toggle. The prices are changing. And then the start free trial most likely leads to the login page, I guess. If I'm not mistaken, let me see. Pricing, start free trial, yes. And then maybe no, I don't think it leads the login page. Start free trial probably leads to this one. Get a demo, get a product demo page. Yes, yes, yes. So that's that. And we are done with the pricing page. Hope you learned a thing or two. And yeah, happy coding.